There are games that give you hope. There are games that you watch and you go, all right, that's the secret to success for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And some people, like Ryan Tyler on the show, you're all ready for the playoffs. And that's all you really care about, right? You want to get there, but what you look like when you get there, and the overarching question of lineups, can these two guys play together? Can it be a Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland-led type of team? Watching that game last night where they just throttled the Pelicans from behind the arc, Darius goes off for 27, Mitchell gets his return. It gives you that hope. It gives you that belief that the Cavs can do that in really of a different way than the rest of the NBA is set up. Can the Cavs really be successful with two guards leading the way? Trying to find the answer to that question. It was a nice win for the Cavs last night. Browns continuing to make moves. Devin Bush in town, linebacker, D tackle, Hunter Renfrow. College basketball tournaments kicking off. Already started. Boosts with Tipico. The Grid. Time Up. Morning update. It is a glorious Thursday right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Great win for the Cavs last night. That was an awesome win. Donovan Mitchell returns. I was actually really happy to see Ryan. He played 28 minutes in that game last night, and he looked good. He was back, just 14 for him last night. That's all right. Ease him back in. Garland goes off for 27. He was hot. Red hot from behind the arc. Dude, our guy George Niang is just streaky as hell, man.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know what else to tell you. It's all the guys I talk crap about. Start talking crap about Garland, shoves it back to me.
Just keep doing it.
All right, that's fine. Who should I pick on? Sam Merrill woke up.
Yeah, does he have the quickest shot in basketball?
I don't know my quickest because Steph gets some off that are just like, boom, gone. Touches hands, gone.
I don't
Merrill's
know.
good, though, man. He's clutch.
The one last night where Karras took it up and he just backwards passed it. I mean, Sam Merrill probably had that ball in his hand.
Karras had an off night last night.
Yeah,
I refuse to talk crap on Karras LeVert. He's like one of my favorite players. So I will not talk crap on Karras LeVert, but need him to step up a little bit. That win last night for the Cavs was so much fun because it gives you what I think the vision might be. And I don't know if you're winning a playoff game with Donovan Mitchell putting up 14 points, but it's like this every turn, every game that I truly am at this point. I still want to get back into the 2 seed, but every single game, I just go into it for just watching that game, for the pure enjoyment of having a few bets on Tipico, of watching the Cavs being able to play. But I still have that nagging question of the future of the team. And I've tried to set that aside the best that I can. But I watched games like last night, and it really makes me continue to think that the X factor and the key to all this is Darius Garland. And his shooting seems to be back. And I know there's going to be games, right? I already got my bet for when do we have Houston? Do we have them tomorrow or Saturday? Houston's up next, right? Yeah. We have them on Saturday, 5 o'clock start. That's weird. Mark my words for a bet that we'll get for Tipico that I think this is now going to be a Donovan Mitchell game. And that's how you'd like to set it up, where it's not always on your star player. You can kind of go back and forth on who's going to have the hot night. Donovan coming off the injury last night. We're going to have a Darius Garland game. And he finally stepped up. That's been my biggest thing with Garland. And I want to be understanding that he missed so much time and he had to get back in the flow and the swing of things. But Ryan, that's all I ever wanted from Garland was to keep shooting, to get back into almost playing that 2 role. He's a point guard in a point guard's body, but I'd almost rather him be the 2 guard on this team and let Donovan run point. And I tried to look up some of the advanced analytics today, and I'll leave that to some of the, basketball people out there. But you can search on NBA.com, you can search by lineups, okay? And there are some, like an offensive rating, I think the perfect offensive rating is like 200 or so, whatever. So you take out some of the team, like Jared Allen and Imani Bates have played 14 minutes together on the floor, and they have an amazing offensive rating. I'm talking about guys that have actually played meaningful minutes, right? At least, what would you say, 30 games? Something like that, right? Together? The best of that metric? Tristan Thompson and George Niang. of 33 games. They have the best offensive rating on the team together. Tristan's in a lot of these. Close would be Dean Wade and Craig Porter Jr.
Tristan's back, right?
He's back for Saturday. Yeah, you can get back Saturday. Then, of your actual starters, your best pairing, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen. Of course. They have an offensive rating of 117, a defensive rating of 107. Then I get down to the rating when Garland and Mitchell are on the floor together. Ryan, it's an offensive rating of about 114. Again, of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell on the floor together, they've played 29 games together, which isn't that crazy. They haven't even played 30 games together. They've played 600 minutes of basketball together this year. Offensive rating of 114, net rating 7 point. That's the differential of offense versus defense. And obviously we care more about the offense. The thing is, Ryan, of all the lineups, that's not even top 10. And I'm talking about just two players. And I'm not trying to get into the weeds on the stats here. But the question is, can the Cavs be successful with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell? Can they be successful with those two guys leading the way? And the conversations that we have had about Jared Allen and Evan Mobley and where they fit into this and the future of the Cavs, I understand all of that. And these are tough decisions that Kobe Altman is eventually going to have to make. This offseason is going to be huge. You're going to offer Donovan Mitchell an extension. Jared Allen is extension eligible. You're telling me you're not going to at least offer him something? What does that mean for Evan Mobley? What does that mean for the money already on the books for Darius Garland? Kobe Altman's not in a great spot. Here's the thing. You're in a good spot because you got the guys. You have hard decisions to make because you have good players. It's different when you're making hard decisions because you have bad players. This is a good problem, but it's still a problem. I think you got one too many guys. And how the NBA is set up, you can have 4 guys on max. You can't have 3 guys on max deals. They're going to have to make some of these decisions coming up. So when I see games like last night, I don't want to be victim of the moment. All right, they beat a Pelicans team that I think is a solid team. I sent a tweet. I don't know why I always pictured CJ McCollum coming back home to play for the Cavs. There's still time. I don't even think he's 30 yet. But CJ McCollum, we were talking about this the other day, of players in the NFL or even baseball or basketball that you just always felt like were going to make their way to your team. There was always some gut feeling that I had that Jadeveon Clowney would play for the Browns one day. I'll call my shot on the Cavs. CJ McCollum. Don't know why.
Maybe because he's from here.
Well, Canton, Glen Oak, sure, yeah, but I just think he fits. I don't know why. I'd love it to happen. There's no way that it ever probably will happen, but I'm just saying. So you beat a nice Pelicans team last night with hot shooting, thankfully, and Darius Garland, probably more important than anybody, Ryan, being the leader of this team right now from a scoring standpoint. And I watch intently to see what the offense looks like. And it just looks so much better when Donovan runs the point. It looks so much better when Garland can be off the ball. And I just wonder, and maybe it's a question, maybe we'll get Evan Damerol on to talk about this. I'd love it from an analyst standpoint. Is that a winning brand of basketball? Is that a way that you can win? Because when I look around the league, Ryan, a lot of top teams, they're not winning with point guards anymore. You want your big-bodied wing guys. Everybody shoots for your Giannis's and your Kevin Durant's, but Jason Tatum is 6'7", right? Jokic, center, right? The NBA is built so differently now. That's a little fear that I have, that our 2 best players should be our guards. Undersized guards at that. And I just don't know if it works. I will tell you, again, from last night, the best Cavs lineup are 4 shooters and Jared Allen. That's another conversation about Mobley and Allen and all that. But when you have guys out there, even lineups like Niang when he's hitting threes, Merrill when he's hitting threes, and Garland and Mitchell, that works. Now, defensively, I don't know how well that's going to go. But offensively, I like that look. And again, you're playing some undersized guys at some undersized positions. and they had to deal with Zion last night. Can I get a hot take out there? Is Zion overrated? I think he is.
He balled out yesterday.
I mean, I know he did, but and that's the thing. The Cavs kind of had that. Go ahead, let him score. I like Brandon Ingram's game a lot. And the Pelicans, they seem to be that mid-pack team in the West. That's what they are. Watching them play, like that's where I thought the Cavs seemed to be in just a completely separate class than those guys. And you were on the road. I think that factors in too. And the Cavs, that was a nice win. That was a really nice win. But I watched that game, Ryan, and our question this morning, posted as you see fit, do you believe the Cavs can be successful in the future with Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell? I thought about the other question is, who are the two that will lead this team? Because I think everybody would vote Mitchell and Allen at this point. But the question that I will have, and I want the answer to that, is can it work with Garland and Mitchell? I want it to. I see games where I think it can. And the playoffs are different. And that's maybe where I could run through all these stats and I could do all this and, run through offensive ratings and all these lineups. What is it when we get to the playoffs? What is it going to be when you're in a 7-game series, knowing that, Donovan Mitchell's probably not going to be able to score 30 every game. He's come back off the injury. You're easing him back in. We'll see. But that's really where I think we're going to get the answer to some of these questions.
Well, I don't necessarily think there's really an NBA team in today's day and age, in this season specifically, that you look at teams that actually have a chance to contend, even just for like an Eastern or Western Conference Finals, not even like the finals, where their two best players are both guards. It's turned into the league where you have these big men that now are stretching the floor. You have your Jokic's, you have your Joel Embiid's. And then beyond that, I mean, you go look at the best players in the NBA. I mean, outside of like Steph and maybe Shy, but even Luka's 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, I mean, he's a point guard by title only. He's a body of a forward.
And then beyond that, it's a lot of forwards, right? Kevin Durant, LeBron. I mean, it's Kawhi Leonard. Like, it's turned into like, I don't know. Like, there's not. But like, I can only think of like a point guard that I think in like the top 10 NBA players right now. Maybe Steph. I mean, do you want to throw Damian Lillard in there? Maybe, but like, it's your Jason Tatum's. It's right. So I don't know. It's definitely changed.
It has changed. There's been a big shift towards that. I think there's been a shift towards shooting in the NBA. Everybody takes a buttload of threes now. That's what tells you is the best way to win. That's what you need. That's usually a lot of guards, some wing guys. So we'll post it up at Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there. Streaming on YouTube. We're up on Twitch and, of course, on Twitter. You can follow the show there. Got to dive right into the Browns. Made a signing this morning. They bring in Quentin Jefferson at defensive tackle. Had 6 sacks last year. Depth guy. Then there's a few others out there. Reports are Devin Bush is in town today. And I was shocked. I don't know why. I just thought he's a little older. Devin Bush is still only 25 years old. Most people probably remember him from Michigan. Then he was drafted by the Steelers. Had a bad year with Seattle last year. I think he only played 7 games, something like that. He's a rotational piece. And I sent out this morning, if the money is right, last year he signed with Seattle for $3 million. I would expect it to even be less than that. Let me see if I can find. Devin Bush last year, 7 games. He had 5 tackles in 1 start. Rotational guy. He had 100 tackles in his rookie year in Pittsburgh. Didn't touch it since. Injuries are the name of the game. Only played 5 games in 2020, 14 in 2021. He did play in all 17 in 2022, and again, only 7 last year with Seattle. I'm not looking at him to say he's the same first-round pick that was just a couple of years ago. Again, a first-round guy in 2019, and he's already a backup rotational guy. But we were talking about linebacker a little yesterday on what you see fit of you already signed Hicks. He's your middle linebacker. You got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I'm fine to see what Devin Bush has got. I'm fine to see if he could be that rotational piece, maybe a potential starter. Then you saw this morning, Ryan, from Zach Jackson and The Athletic. Hunter Renfrow might be a little bit of an interest there for the Browns. Would you take Hunter Renfrow on the Cleveland Browns? I know I would.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be relatively cheaper. He's definitely on the twilight of his career, but I mean, he's been pretty consistent in Oakland for a while. Or Oakland. Excuse me. Well, now Vegas for a while.
Well, Vegas, but I'm saying, like, that he was better then. And then there was some things I read on Hunter Renfrow. Josh McDaniels screwed him up. Like, he was not the same guy. There was a time that Hunter Renfrow was viewed as one of the better 2 receivers in the NFL, number 2 receivers.
Yeah, no, he was
going to get paid that way. Bring him on in, man. I'm fine. That's where I really did view the Browns going into free agency, and I said on the show at nauseam, I didn't expect any big free agency splash. The big splash was Jerry Jeudy, who picked number 3 yesterday, by the way. You see, that's a nice little receiver number there. He's here. That's your big move. I never felt like they were big players for Christian Wilkins or, Pittman or Evans when they were available. Even Mike Williams now available. I don't see that.
I would sell my
I know, I'd
soul.
love it, but the money's not going to work. If you hadn't made the Jeudy trade, maybe, I don't know, there's only so many footballs to go around.
But I mean, it depends if they're done. They're not done restructuring.
I think they might be done. Well, outside
Still
of
gotta do
Chubb.
Chubb.
They're going to do
What
Chubb.
about Coop?
Yeah, maybe if they had the void years. There's still
That's
a
the thing.
lot on
If
the
they
plate.
really wanted to get Mike Williams, they could do it.
If they really wanted to, but
if you're gonna go all out to make Deshaun Watson have to be good, I mean, when's the last time the Browns had a?
how much more do you need? I mean, I say that relative. Like, if you're telling me that you walked out there, Amari Cooper, Mike Williams, and Jerry Jeudy, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty good. I guess I'm also coming from, I don't know if Mike Williams is going to see a value of coming to Cleveland. He wants, one of two things going to happen with Mike Williams. Somebody is going to sign him to a deal, like a pretty lucrative deal. I doubt that coming off the injuries. So what's he going to want to do? Go somewhere where he's the guy and can pad some stats and go get rich in the offseason coming up. That's not going to be in Cleveland, where he would at best be your third option behind Cooper and Njoku. Then you factor in Jerry Jeudy. So I'm already conditioned myself. I'm good on it's not that I'm good on Mike Williams. I don't see that at all. Now, Hunter Renfrow on the Andrew Berry magic. 1 year, what? I don't know, $6 million, something like that. I could listen to that. I was all about quantity. I wanted more receivers to come in here, as many as you could get, because I wanted some bodies in that room to see who was going to get figured out. I didn't think they were going to be major players for some of the biggest names out there for wide receivers. So when you can't go get the big names, can't get the quality, I guess, as you would call it, give me the quantity then. Bring as many in as you can. And I don't know if that stops you from drafting a guy at 54. Okay. The other thing about 54 with the draft now, let's say they go sign Hunter Renfrow, and he's here. That opens that pick up to best player available. And maybe it's a linebacker. I'm going to say Devin Bush would stop you from signing or drafting the linebacker here and there. But it starts getting my wheels turning about that draft pick. The best teams are the teams that build through the draft. That's a fact. They're cheaper. You find your talent there, and you build it out from there. The Browns team is pretty well built. And we discussed a question this morning. How many wins do you think this team is right now? If you were to put this Browns team, I'll give you, imagine training camp, imagine all the roster that you have. Again, expecting what you hope to get out of Watson or whatever. You're staring down the barrel of at least a 10 or 11 win team, in my opinion, and probably more. So now that draft pick, you would like to make it, but the Browns are also in this position of now is the time to go. And the battle would be to maybe flip that for a known commodity. I think that time is past. So they're going to make that pick at 54, in my opinion. But with some of the moves they've made, I don't want to say I hate to say this, but I'm going to say, I don't know if I see a glaring hole anymore. I'd like future wide receivers. I'm of the belief that Jerry Jeudy's going to be here for a couple of years.
So that's where it comes down to, because let's say, God forbid, Jerry Jeudy doesn't work out. Okay, that's an X. Mari Cooper, you only have him for at least now, as it's standing, 1 more year. And he's going to be, what, at the end of this year, 31-ish?
Yeah.
I think, okay, Elijah Moore didn't really give us much to work with.
Oh, he's in time hop, by the way.
Let's hope Cedric Tillman pans out. I'm not going to freak out on Cedric Tillman or anything, but I mean, you kind of know what you have in David Bell. That's not probably going to go anywhere. I would still draft a receiver for the future's sake, because if it doesn't work out. But my question to you, Matt, is, because I know we talk about this a lot on the show, if the scenario does happen where we do trade Greg Newsome, how far do you think that could possibly get us into the first round?
54 and Newsome to get up to the late first, potentially. Potentially. I mean, you're going to be calling on, let me look at the NFL draft order real quick.
If we could get you know where I'm going.
I know you want Ladd McConkey, Dad.
Dude, he would be so good.
Well, the other thing, where's everybody talking about Mike Williams? Chiefs. Everybody
That's
says
fine.
that.
Let him go to the Chiefs.
Your team's at the end there. You're not trading with Baltimore. They're at 30. Detroit's 29. San Fran 31. Kansas City 32. Buffalo 28. Tampa Bay 26. Green Bay, who we've made a lot of trades with in the past, 25.
What if they lose L'Jarius? They're talking about maybe.
Well, they're going to move him, but the thing is, what then they would probably get. I saw some second round stuff there. I mean, there's a lot that it still has to play out in the draft, and the Browns could stay pat to see how the board falls. If there is a receiver or a guy that they really like that starts to fall, then you maybe make that move. As I see what the Browns did in free agency, they shored up every concern that I had. Are they the elite of the elite? Well, no. But they've shored up that D-tackle room. I feel fine with that room. They re-signed Zadarius Smith. Fine with that. You still have Obo Okoronkwo. There's your pass rushers. I don't need a corner. They're signing linebackers. Don't need a safety. Offensive line will figure itself out. The only thing left would be receiver. Even with Naheem Hines here now, I don't even really need a running back. They got Jameis. What else do you need? You're pretty stacked. Now, that, again, affords Andrew Berry to just take the best player in the second round. But if there, the door is wide open. That's the exciting thing. With the moves the Browns have done right now, the door is wide open for whatever you need in the draft or whatever move you need to make in the draft.
Let me ask you this, Matt, because we talked about, obviously, we're both huge fans of Andrew Berry, and he's done a tremendous job since he's been here in Cleveland. But what's been his one knock in the draft? You
Receivers.
can't find a receiver.
Receivers.
Do you think that affects his will to either move up to pick a receiver?
I mean,
do you think that would scar him a little bit?
Not necessarily, because you're talking about a better crop of receivers. He's still been picking guys later in the draft. It's not like he's missing on first round guys. Now, you might also say, this is my deficiency. I'll go find guys that I know can play.
Ladd.
Well, I'm talking about Jerry Jeudy. I'm talking about Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
We thought Elijah Moore. Think about it. Andrew Berry has actually made just as many, but probably close, just as many wide receiver trades as he has drafted receivers.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And that's usually a recipe for success or for failure, excuse me. You're making trades to short, but again, if you just didn't, sometimes you got to admit that. Sometimes you got to admit there's something about that position that I can't find. But I go back to, I think it's later in the draft. What are you going to do? You're finding third round guys, whatever. But if you want to go that route, and you want to say that I'm just going to be picking and choosing these guys from other teams, I'm all for it. The one guy I'm bringing up, though, is Michael Thomas. Would you rather Michael Thomas or Hunter Renfrow?
Hunter Renfrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Something about Michael Thomas, man.
Because
something about Michael Thomas. And I know he's hurt all the time.
Because you could talk, okay, but that's your whole point is, yeah, Michael Thomas might have a higher ceiling.
There was a time, man, he was the best.
Yeah,
he was so good. That was
but to your point about Hunter Renfrow
or
Michael Thomas, you're talking about how you've always said you want quantity over quality right now.
Well, that I think would be a little mid. I would say this: Hunter Renfrow, I think, is
a safer option.
Safer, but how much do you read into? Here's the issue: you're trying to read into a production dip for Hunter Renfrow. That if you want to say it was Josh McDaniels and Carr and Jimmy G and the quarterbacks. Devontae Adams showing up certainly hurt that. You think it would unlock Hunter Renfrow, but it didn't. So you have a production issue with Renfrow. You got an injury issue with Michael Thomas. Which one do you think is easily more remedied? And you also could just say, even if Michael Thomas is healthy, he ain't the same guy anymore. I don't listen to that. That's fine. I'm drunk on Michael Thomas from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago when he was the best. Literally.
He's just running
probably
slants.
The best receiver. Well, I don't say the best, but he was one of the best. Can you recapture that? I don't know. The Browns are in the catbird seat right now. I think they're sitting back. Andrew Berry's got his feet up. Good work done.
Well, so now that
pro days are coming, got the draft.
Now that you've seen how free agency has gone, because you were in the boat like a lot of people. In no way, shape, or form would you ever want them to trade that 54 back. Does that change now?
I'm open more to it.
Okay.
I'm more open to flexibility. There was a point frankly, it was Jerry Jeudy. Without Jerry Jeudy, I was like receiver. And we ran through Ladd McConkey, and we ran through that guy from Oregon, Troy Franklin. We ran through that Pearsall guy from Florida. We're sitting there watching 40 times and go, all right, I hope this guy's here. I was all for receiver at 54. Now I'm like, all right. Because there's also got to be room that they do want to get some time for Cedric Tillman this year. I'll tell you this, it would be a disservice if they didn't get some time for Cedric Tillman this year. Some time as your number 4 option. And I don't think they're obviously at this point, not ready to move on from Elijah Moore, right? They see something there. Trying to, I don't know, squeeze juice out of a rock or something, like squeeze blood out of a rock or something, but maybe that's past. I don't know.
Are we over David Bell?
That's the tough thing, too. Like, for what you thought he was going to be as a possession guy over the middle, I think he's fine. He might have a position on this team, too. But I'm open to it now. I'm open to moving up, moving back, selecting this guy, going that way. What do you need? What do you need?
Lad.
I know you need Lad.
I'd buy a jersey so fast.
I know you would. You'd be all over it. Didn't he rock 83 there? I love that number. It's a good number.
So good.
It's a number.
He's so fast.
Why are you're so on Lad McConkey?
Because he's going to be a dog.
I think he's going to be good. Sure. You better stop. People are going to hear this. You're going to rocket up the draft board. Somebody take him in the first round. I've seen mocks that he goes to Kansas City at 32.
No, he'd
have a heart attack. You'd hate that.
Yeah.
Hate that. We need to start talking crap about Lad McConkey here.
He'd be the offensive player of the year.
Start pushing it down a little bit here. There it is.
He'd break Puka's rookie records.
Oh, come on now. Let's not get crazy. Everything became official yesterday. The Judy trade became official. All these other moves that are reported are all becoming official with the trade, or excuse me, for the opening of the new league year. There were some cap casualties, and Joe Flacco's got a job. We got to talk about him when we return. The Flack man. Padone's a little hooked. Man.
Yeah, he's eating into it.
So Joe Flacco's still got an event. I think, is it today at Topgolf or something like that?
Yeah, Thursday.
I think something like that. And he's got one more next week. I know Joe Flacco loved his time here, and I know that we love Joe Flacco. And I'm happy that he got a job. But we'll talk about that. He's moving to Indy. Some other moves around the league. We'll keep our eye out again. Devin Bush in this morning visiting with the Browns. Somebody said, don't let him leave. I wouldn't know if I get that crazy about Devin Bush, but
yeah.
Let's see. If the money works out, that's fine. Quentin Jefferson in the D-tackle room. Hunter Renfrow. We'll keep all that going. We got more Cavs coming up. We got college basketball. The conference tournaments kicking off a lot around the country today. A lot of basketball. We got a boost for Tipico college basketball-wise. So we'll get to that all coming up. Great stuff last night with Drennan on bonus time with Bruce Drennan. Folks, we got it all. Tonight, our newest show, the Big Play Cincinnati show. The Bengalorian, Drew Garrison. I saw the Bengals tweeting back at Drew yesterday.
Were they?
Some things. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
So they're all in. That's our newest show here on Big Play for all you Bengals fans. Enter the Jungle is on Tuesdays with James Rapien and crew. And tonight, the Big Play Cincinnati show. We're branching out, folks. We got a lot of things coming here on Big Play. So keep it locked in, including keep it locked in on Tipico. You know what today I thought of so much? You know where I'm going with Tipico. The imperfect parlay, baby. Think about dude, seriously. Tipico, I'm pulling it up right now. Here we go. We're in. I'm just going to scroll right over. College basketball for today. Boom. I'm already in. I love it. Dude, look. I got 11 a.m. games. I got Toledo, Kent State over at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, 11 a.m. Look at all these games, man.
Matt, did you see...
Still going. So if I wanted to do just this, I'm going to go crazy here. Just for a second to show you what the imperfect parlay is. You like Kent or Toledo, 6.5. Just give me, shoot something there.
Kent's pretty bad, Toledo.
All right, Toledo, minus 6.5. Xavier, UConn. UConn's 15.5 point favorites. We'll take them there. Let's take let's take Texas Tech, plus 2.5. Let's take Bowling Green, minus 2.5. Let's take Houston, minus 10.5. Let's take Arkansas, plus 6.5. Let's take Miami of Ohio, plus 8.5. Folks, I just threw it together. Right? I got a 7-leg parlay. I play that straight out. That's plus 9,100. Ryan, if I just want 5 of my 7, that's plus 245. 5 of your 7, that's plus 245. And the thing about the imperfect parlay on Tipico, doesn't matter which games hit. Now, you might be kicking yourself if all 7 hit, and you just took the 5, but it doesn't matter. This is so big for college basketball. This is so amazing on the imperfect parlay. Dude, I could get down to 4 out of 7. It's minus 177 for 4 out of the 7. I love it, man. I love this imperfect parlay. It's one of my favorite things about Tipico. Then you can still get going with the cashback parlay, the cashback rewards for parlays for straight bets. You get your rewards. We talk about our boost so much, and you're looking for some bonus bets. You haven't signed up with Tipico yet. What you waiting for? Fontana 100 is the code. When you sign up and deposit and bet $25, get $100 in bonus bets. Dude, how about this? On this, $5. Throw that in. On a 6 out of 7, I'm winning $62. Again, on this imperfect parlay, I've got 7 legs, and I want just 6 of them to hit. $5 gets me $60 right there. Get those bonus bets with code Fontana100 when you sign up with Tipico. Deposit and bet $25. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got it all locked up and ready to go with our friends from Tipico. All right, let's catch our break. We come back. We got Browns. Flacco's got a job. We'll get into the Cavs. Our Twitter question at Matt Fontana Show. Got it all for you right here on Big Play. All right, we made the proclamation on the show yesterday. I was going to give some Flacco people a little bit of time to let it go. He's got a job. It's now time to move on. Welcome back, Matt Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Drop us a follow. We're up on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all over the place at Matt Fontana Show. We are right there. So yesterday, we got to the announcement that Joe Flacco is going to the Indianapolis Colts. He's going to back up Anthony Richardson. And I tweeted this. I'm happy he got a job because we sent the clip out yesterday that I think a lot of people understand how unjust it really was that, you know, he played so well and he was going to be discarded. And I'm happy he can start the season with the team. I'm sure the Colts, don't plan on him playing. It's going to be Anthony Richardson, and he's coming off injury, sure. But I'm happy that Flacco can finish it out pseudo on his own terms, right? He can play again. There's an opportunity to do that. He gets another paycheck. That's fine. So I think, Ryan, that helps very much to ease things over. The other thing that I thought about, which I was kind of happy about, it shuts down that he's sitting there in October and you're like, well, wait a minute. If it struggles or whatever. I hope that's not the case with the Browns, but it all but shuts it down. He's not coming back. And you can just close that chapter on the book. I know people are pissed, and I know there are a lot of people that are even like really upset, and I don't understand it. I really don't. For what Flacco did, we loved him for it. He's got a job, and he's moving on. Now, of course, it got tweeted out, which I don't even know the legitimacy of this. In today's day and age, you got to be careful on what you see from who. I don't know. Apparently, Joe Flacco has events here. I guess he's at Topgolf today, and he's got something next week. I didn't vet these, Ryan. I don't know if these are true or not. But he's finishing out his obligations. And I know there'll probably be a line and a sea of people there to see him, and that's fine. Good. And I appreciate Joe seeing things through. And I know that he loved his time here. But, oh my God, we have got to stop getting hooked on people that just say nice things about our town and our team. Joe Flacco's a great guy. He's a nice guy. And he played really well for our team. And I'm glad that he's got another spot. But the people that wanted to just continually jump on the, oh my God, he said this, and oh my God, he loves, of course he said that. He was getting paid millions of dollars to be here. Like, I know he's finishing out, and I appreciate that, because he could have said, dude, I'm out of here. I ain't finishing this out. Who was that? Oh, it was Tommy DeVito. Remember that? He had an appearance, and then he blew up, and then his agent went back to the P. That's a little different. I'm glad that he's finishing this out here in Cleveland. And how many people do you expect people to be there, like lining up to get your Joe Flacco jersey signed?
No, 100%.
I'm sure. I bet. That's great. I appreciate that of him from very much. Ryan, I'm happy you got a job so we can close the book on this and move on forward.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too. I tweeted about it, like their exact same contract, both 8.7. Flacco has $500,000 more guaranteed than Jameis Winston, but I mean, good for him. Like you said, he got another job. I mean, Anthony Richardson, the sky's already the limit for him, I thought. And I tweeted, I said, man, what a backup to be behind you to learn from as you're a young, not rookie, but really he's going to be a rookie again because he missed the majority of his season due to that injury. So, I mean, good for him, good for the Colts, good for Joe Flacco. I think it worked out well for all parties.
That it is. And I really am happy that he can kind of finish that out on his own terms. You don't want to walk it out being discarded. You don't want to move on from a team and then not have somebody else. I figured he was going to get a job. And there was I guess we talked about it yesterday of not knowing maybe how many openings were. So I'm super happy about that. Back to the Browns roster. So all these moves are now official. The roster that they have today, Ryan, how many wins do you think is on this roster?
If you were to doing that.
Why? I love doing it. Because you want to know why? I like going back to see what people said. And I will do this. I've done this in the past. I'll do it at free agency. I'll do it after the draft. And I will do it right before training camp. And I ask people, how many wins? How many wins? And people want to get serious. They'll play the schedule game. Hey, do you think we get one here on the Eagles down in Brazil in week 1 and all that? And injuries, certainly teams can change over the year. I get all of it. But I'm talking about just the roster. And that bothers some people when they go, the game's not played on paper. It's not played on paper. I'm well aware of that. Thank you very much. You look at this team. You look at this roster. There was a time that we had plenty of conversations about the Browns being a top 10 roster. Remember, it was not that long ago. I don't think we're there anymore. And that's fine because I still think we have an upper half of the league type of roster. You have all-pro or what should be all-pro level players at almost every position. You've got it on O-line. You have it at receiver. You have it at tight end. You have it at defensive line with Myles Garrett. Linebacker, okay, but JOK could play to that level. And you got corners and DBs and safeties out the rear end being to that level. And you got a quarterback that should be to that level. The interesting one is, for the first time in a long time, I don't know if I could say that about running back. Yeah. The shift that is going to happen with running back, I have a fear it's a little like when Joe Thomas retired, which, dude, that's so weird, man. I got that in time hop. He announced it this day, 2019. Did I ever tell you a story about Joe? I was there the day that he tore his tricep. So I was up in the press box, and we all saw Joe go down. And he gets up, and he's holding his arm. And we're like, oh, God. We're like, what happened? And he went out, and he ended, the snap streak. It comes out later, he tore his tricep. Bro, he still came out and spoke to the media. I have the picture on my phone. His arm is like this, ace bandaged up in a sling around him so he can't move it. And he's sitting there talking to the media. And I'm like, what a badass.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I tore my bicep. I was like, I'm going to the hospital. But remember when Joe, you took that for granted. There was such that time that you took that position for granted because you didn't need to worry about it. You had that with Nick Chubb, and now you don't. And there's a belief that he can come back to a form of his. But Ryan, we're still searching. Joe Thomas retired 5 years ago. You ran through Greg Robinson and his weed. You tried that Desmond Harrison? Undrafted guy or like 7th round pick out of Arkansas State. He's like 6'8". He was massive. He didn't work. Jed Wills, take it or leave it, fine. You had Jaron Christian starting at left tackle. Like, when you have a legacy type of player and you have to shift away from that, it can be a culture shock. So when I look at this roster and I ask the question that Ryan doesn't want to answer about how many wins do you think you're going to be able to get with this team, it's so funny, and I guess maybe not funny, that running back is your biggest question. Would you sit here today and say with everything that you see that running back is your biggest unknown? Because quarterback, people would say, I got a lot of questions there. You got a guy coming off injury in Watson, sure, but I don't know. I feel more confident that he's going to get back to a level of play that we want to see. Running back, I don't know. Who knows? It could be any. Like, is Jerome Ford, who almost had 1,000 yards last year, Hines is fine out of the backfield, Hunt's not here. Like, you went from never having a question about that to now that being one of your biggest issues. And they're running it back. Sorry. They're going to bring Nick Chubb back because they don't want to see him leave, and nobody wants to see that last play, like Andrew Berry said, be the final one. But you got that problem, and that problem isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
you're going to have that.
I would say it's the most unknown right now. I mean, obviously outside of maybe quarterback, because you don't know what you really truly have in Deshaun Watson. But I mean, at the end of the day, it sucks. But I mean, to flip it on its side, silver lining, it is running back, the easiest position to replace. What's going on?
This story is completely insane.
What?
This cannot be true.
What?
So the Pittsburgh Penguins, they're honoring Jaromir Jagr.
Okay. And
they're taking his, they retired his jersey, came out with the team and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Tonight was bobblehead night there.
Okay.
They stole the truck. The Pittsburgh Penguins, I swear to God, this is from their account. The Penguins announced today that the shipment carrying the Jagr bobbleheads for tonight's game has been stolen en route to Pittsburgh. As a result, the bobbleheads will not be distributed and will be distributed at a later date. Any fan tonight will receive a voucher to then redeem the bobblehead at a later date. The Pittsburgh Penguins announced today that the shipment carrying the Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads for tonight's game against San Jose has been stolen after its arrival in California. As a result, the bobbleheads are not in Pittsburgh, and they will have to be distributed at a later time. The Penguins learned today that they were victims of cargo theft after they failed to receive the shipment as scheduled. The team is working with the manufacturer and transportation companies to alert the appropriate state and federal authorities who are working to locate the cargo. This is an open investigation. No further comment will be made. Penguins president of business operations. We are shocked to be a victim of cargo theft. What?
I feel like they probably stole the wrong truck or something.
That's what I'm saying. You think you would hope it'd be a bunch of iPhones.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who's this mullet guy? The hell is that?
Maybe they saw what the Kelsey brothers bobblehead was going for on eBay, and they thought they could get a quick score.
What do you do with those? Sounds like you, because here's what. Go watch eBay. There'll be a flood of Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads.
Maybe it's just like when people steal Amazon packages. They just hope it's.
Have you ever
good.
had an Amazon package stolen?
I haven't personally, no.
Here's the funny thing. I've had something much more dear to me stolen from my house before I got an Amazon package stolen. I've never had an Amazon package stolen.
So what'd you get stolen?
I've never told anybody this on the air. I got my car stolen.
Oh, I knew that.
You knew that. Other people in my life know that. I got my car stolen from my house before I got an Amazon package stolen. I'm dead serious. We have never had an issue with a porch pirate taking anything from our house. Got my car stolen, though. Yep, that happened. I'd rather them take my Amazon package. That's fine. I'll claim cargo theft like they did. That is one of the craziest things I think I've ever heard. The Penguins had a bobblehead night, and their cargo got stolen. Is that a thing? Clearly, this is a thing. How do you lose a shipping container? I'm assuming that's what happened here, right? What do? You just pull. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? It's probably like Goodfellas. You ever see Goodfellas?
Oh, yeah.
Where the guy gets out of the truck and, It's Henry and Jimmy. They just get in the truck and drive away. Is that what happened?
Some Grand Theft Auto missions.
That's somebody tweeted a Grand Theft Auto 6 mission here. Yeah. DraftKings tweeted, they go, "Would police have arrested an individual in connection with the bobblehead heist?" And it was the guy for the Flyers. What's his name? Gritty. Is that who it is? You know, the guy.
The mascot?
Yeah, the mascot guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That'd be pretty funny. Everybody's saying that. It's Gritty. Yeah, that's who it is. Has anybody had a Gritty alibi? I really want to know who steals a shipment of bobbleheads and what their plan to do with 10,000 of them is.
They're big Jaeger fans.
Yager.
Jaeger fans?
Would you rather have 10,000 Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads or 10,000 bottles of Jägermeister?
Jägermeister.
Me too. Me too. Somebody said Dom Toretto's down bad. I just picture him in the Civics rolling up and stealing the truck, and it's a bunch of Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads.
Family.
DVDs, bobbleheads. Somebody tweet. Tom Toretto must be down bad. Oh my God, that's funny. Oh man, the Penguins. I almost said the Steelers. The Penguins, victims of cargo theft. Oh man, that's funny.
Maybe it's a GTA 6 promo.
What do you do? Like again, how do you find them? Don't they have trackers on those things? Dude, I have Apple AirTag in my golf bag. You can't put that on one of those. I'm assuming, probably talking about high-level heists here. What do they think it was? Again, like, what do you steal? iPhones?
Probably just hoping it was something good.
What do you do with them? You just leave them somewhere? What happens? You are the people. We stole the truck, okay? You think it's something super expensive. Phones, tablets. It's a bunch of Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads. Don't you just like leave that somewhere and run away?
Or burn it. Leave no evidence.
Yeah, but you get caught more of a charge. At least if you dropped it off somewhere, be like, hey, I just left it. At least I didn't hurt it or all. Like, again, what are you going to do with those? Does that raise the value? Do you think these people that are Uber in on sports memorabilia, do you really want a Jaromir Jagr bobblehead now because it was part of the heist?
Yes.
Part of the heist bobblehead?
There's less of them available.
That's crazy. Again, I just saw it this morning. They just announced this like 40 minutes ago. The Steelers are going to have a bobblehead night for Jaromir Jagr. They got their shipping container stolen.
You said Steelers again.
Penguins. Sorry. Damn, the same colors. I do think that's kind of cool that all three teams have the same colors, though. Ooh,
yeah, they do.
That's a great question. If you had to pick between the Cavs, Browns, and Guardians, and all three teams had to have the same colors, which one would you pick?
Cavs and Guardians kind of already do a little bit.
Not really. Wine and gold, and then red and blue.
I would pick Cavs.
I think red and blue goes better with more things. It would not be the Browns. What's the funny thing is, it would not be the Browns.
Yeah, no.
Could you imagine a basketball team having to play in those uniforms, or a baseball team having to play in those uniforms? Ugh, don't want to see that. Back to our basketball team. Our question is up this morning. After that game last night, Cavs got a nice win. Darius Garland goes off. Our question is, I love how you put this. Are you still concerned about Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell coexisting on the floor at the same time. 65-36 people say no. And shout out to Alex Hooper, friend of mine. Hoop and I went to college together. He lived across the street from me. He used to throw empty beer bottles at his house all the time. Got him in a lot of trouble. He tweeted, he thinks it's more of a problem defensively. That's why you have to have all 2 world bigs and then plus Isaac Okoro. So, like, I think Hoop's bringing up a good point here. I'm talking so much and focus so much more on the offensive side of things. But, yeah, defensively, there's some deficiencies there. And can you match that with some of the other guys? I don't know. Those are all questions. I think for JB, who, you got to see how this season plays out with him. I'm a big JB Bickerstaff fan. I hope it works out. But there's, whatever. They got a new system. They'll fit the players in the best that they can. Games like last night do give me that hope. They give me that little bit of hope that this can work because we're going against the grain. The rest of the league is not built like the Cavaliers. And you would say, well, that should give you advantages, right? Yeah, but also when the rest of the league is working, sometimes you got to fall in line. Sometimes it always doesn't work when you try to be the outlier. And I think for a little while, the Browns were trying to do that. They tried to run the football. They tried to be a running team. They went and got Sean Watson because you can't survive that way. I think the NBA is set the same way. The NBA is telling you should not be able to succeed with the way the Cavs are currently built. They're trying to go against that. Remains to be seen if that's actually going to work. The rest of the team, though, like last night with New Orleans, you took care of them like you were a top team in the NBA. They were not in that game at all. I never felt once like the Pelicans were actually in that game. The Cavs took it to them. That's what I want to see. A little momentum and a little belief that you do carry yourself like a top team because they took care of them like they did. Now, what that means for the mix, the motivation, how the guys feel, that remains to be seen. And you got this stretch now coming up. I'm very thankful to see the Cavs got some time off. They've got some days in between games. They can rest some guys up. And you got a stretch right now. Rockets should be a win. Pacers should be a win. I think you should beat the Heat. Then you're back with the Timberwolves. Dude, you got 3 games left the rest of the way against the Hornets. Should be able to beat them out. But then you got this big road trip that starts at the end of the month. You go to Denver, then you're in Utah, then you're Phoenix and both the LA teams. That'll tell you about the 2 seed right there. That's going to be the stretch that you need to be ready to go. You hope to get Evan Mobley back for that. I hope that he'll be back for that. Because there's your stretch to tell you whether or not you're going to get the 2 seed. You want to do power rankings this morning?
Well, here's the thing, Matt. I have to pull up the rankings before I think about this, but and would you consider purposely dropping a game based on seeding to pick who you play in the first round?
I mean, I'd rather
because what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because right now, would you rather play? Well. So
you got to play the play-in tournament if you were the 2 seed.
Yeah. Because right now,
and you don't know about that.
Pacers are in 7th.
You should be able to beat them.
Orlando's 5.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Philly's 6.
So yeah, I'd love to have Philly.
Would we know?
Yeah. Do you really think Embiid's coming back this year? I don't.
We just lost him without him.
Huh?
We lost him without him.
I know, but
they put up a stinker against the Knicks.
I know they did. I'd rather play Philly in this. And again, in a 7-game series, that they'll win a game or 2. That's fine. I'll take a 4-2 series win. That's fine. I don't know about that because with the play-in tournament, that's creating a lot of things. And then you also would love to have the home court advantage there in the second round.
7 seed's part of the play-in, right?
Or no? Yeah, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all in there.
I think that's so dumb that the 7 seed could not make the playoffs.
Well, 7 and 8 play each other. The winner gets in, and then the loser of that plays 9, 10. So you'd only have to win 1 game, where if you're 9, 10, you have to win 2.
But I just think that's so crazy that there's even a possibility a 7 seed misses the playoffs entirely.
I like the play-in tournament. I don't mind it. I think it's fine the way it is. There could be a case made still, as they've said, that there's too many teams, like over half the league makes the playoffs. Yeah. I don't like that. So what do? Do you bump it up and you say 5, 6, 7, and 8 all play in a play-in tournament?
No.
Can't do that. It doesn't work out with the numbers. You don't have even numbers to go play your series.
I think it should just be 9 and 10 play, and then they play the 8 seed, and then the winner of that.
Oh, okay, I'd listen to that. I could listen to that.
I don't think it's right to make a 7 seed battle.
Fair enough. Speaking of 7-8, Cavs were 8 in the latest power rankings over there on ESPN, down from 7. Dave McMenamin writes, it was a tough week for Cleveland, going 1-3 and losing to 2 sub-500 teams in Brooklyn and Atlanta. Donovan Mitchell out since March 1st, and he did this yesterday. He'll get back. Cavs, who hot streak to start the year, moved them into 2 in the East. Now in 3, have a 3-game road trip starting with New Orleans, Houston, Indiana. They should sweep this series. They should sweep these 3 games. You already beat the hardest team, in my opinion, in New Orleans. Houston and Indiana should be wins for the Cavs, and hopefully put yourself back in the position for that number 2 seed. We'll see how it plays out.
Can I hear who's out of them?
Sure.
In the power ranking?
So obviously number 1, Boston. Number 2, Denver. Number 3, Oklahoma City. Number 4, Milwaukee. Number 5, LA Clippers. Number 6, Minnesota. And number 7, the team we just beat, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Are the Pelicans at 7? What in the world?
I don't know what to tell you. They're 7. Cavs are 8. Suns are 9. I'd actually listen more to the Suns being up there than the Pelicans, but whatever. Knicks are 10. That's just ESPN's right up on it. So we'll see. But yeah, I think they got to sweep this series coming up, this little 3-game stretch that they're on, and we'll see. All right, we'll see more NFL news coming in with more free agency. We'll keep our eyes and ears out for that. Ryan's got the morning updates to recap all the news that we got yesterday for the Browns. Everything is official. We got pro days aplenty going on. Everybody at Georgia yesterday. Is it Clemson today? I believe that it is. I got pictures of Mike Tomlin hanging out with Dabo Sweeney, so I think it's Clemson today.
Before we go, do you want to wait to hit our boost?
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had it.
College
basketball, here we go!
Alrighty, Matt.
Typico, lay it out for us, young Ryan.
Alrighty, well, we know we got the conference tournaments going on here.
Here we
so
go.
Let's go in all Ohio, baby. Akron moneyline over Miami of Ohio. Dayton moneyline over Duquesne. Ohio State moneyline over Iowa.
Let's go.
And Ohio University moneyline over Western Michigan, Matt. Typico boost that up to plus 335.
All right, let's get going. College basketball across the board. Get on our boost right there with Typico. Use that code Fontana100 when you sign up. Deposit and bet $25 on whatever you want. With that code, get $100 in bonus bets. You can use on our boost. You can use on the imperfect parlays to make some cash start flowing here in the college basketball tournaments. Get signed up. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Typico, the best. We love you very much. Use that code Fontana100. Let's get to the morning update. Ryan, stories, plenty. Grid, time up. All coming up in hour 2. Stay with us. Jump on into it. It's a busy day yesterday. First day of the league opening in the NFL. These deals becoming official. Von Bell back to the Bengals. Saw that. Browns make some signings this morning. Got some guys in. Maybe some interest in another. Let's get to it. Ryan, morning update. Take it away.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, the Cavs got back on track last night as they beat the Pelicans on the road. Donovan Mitchell came back, and DG the PG with another solid performance. He leads the Cavs in scoring last night. Matt, is he back?
I hope so. I mean, you want Donovan Mitchell to come back to a team that Darius Garland is shooting the lights out of the basketball. I think the best world, Donovan plays point, Darius Garland's your two guard. What that means for defense, I don't know. I'm not JB Bickerstaff. Got to figure that out. Scoring, it just seems to work so much better with Mitchell. I don't know why. It just seems like when he's out there, it's better. I also watched a lot, focused a lot on Mitchell. And later in the game, he was just standing in the corner. And I think trying to draw some defenders away to open some things up for everybody else. He missed some time. It was a knee injury. I'm shocked that he played 28 minutes, to be honest with you. That's good. And he seemed to be himself. He was running up and down the court, getting after guys on defense. But offensively, it seemed to be, hey, I'm going to stand over here. Tonight is Darius's night. Niang had a good night. Allen had some solid minutes. All right, let these guys show up. Still going to need Donovan Mitchell to go off for a game or two coming up. In the playoffs, certainly. But when you have, I think it was never a talent thing for me with Darius Garland. It's just, I think he's really streaky. And maybe that's what we need to live with. But can you keep a streaky guy around on a max deal while you're trying to find money for everybody? I don't know. These are all the things that we got to figure out, that Kobe Altman's got to figure out. Each game is a little bit to learn, a little bit to understand how this is all going to piece together. But think about this, and I know injuries happen everywhere. But Ryan, we're going to finish a season out, most likely, with your core four, Mobley, Allen, Garland, and Mitchell, probably playing in less than 30 games. What have they played in so far? 24, I think?
Altogether? I mean,
yeah.
God, it's a low number. Maybe a quarter of the season.
Hang on, let me try to go lineups here. I do like this. All right, 4-player lineups for the Cavs. Do you know the most oh, no, wait. Let me search most efficiency. Offensive. See, that doesn't really count because it's like all these weird ones and all that kind of stuff. I'll put it this way. All right, games played. Do you know the lineup, the 4-player lineup that has played the most minutes this season? Jared Allen, Max Strus, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley. Next is Mitchell, Allen, Strus, Okoro. Let me see if I can find the one that I'm really looking for here. No, Mitchell, Allen, Wade.
Oh, you're just proving your point.
I know. So I'm searching. I'm literally, unless I missed it here. All right, here it is. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley. Ryan, they have played 22 games together. 22 games. So again,
a little over a quarter of the season.
You're not even probably going to scratch 30. With Mobley being out and maybe another guy sits or whatever, like 22 games of your starting guys. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Alrighty, well, free agency in the NFL continues for our Browns as well, Matt. The newest addition, defensive tackle Quentin Jefferson, and apparently, I guess, Devin Bush is in for a visit. We're looking at potentially Hunter Renfrow, and our old friend Joe Flacco finds a new home in Indy.
Yeah, I mean, so far as things are starting to slow down, a lot of the big names are off, but there are some guys that are on these tours, right? They're going to go around, and they're going to, the old school version of free agency and visit with some of these teams, all that kind of stuff. Browns, Jefferson, good depth guy. I still think your starters are Mo Hurst and Shelby Harris. What does that tell you that they think about Siaki Ika, though?
Yeah.
That guy was, what, a 4th-round pick?
Third or fourth.
Gone. I mean, he's nothing. He's buried on the depth chart again. They let Jordan Elliott move on. And it's maybe a little bit like Mo Hurst and some of the other... God, who was the other guy that was in camp with us last year? You had Shelby Harris, Mo Hurst, there was one other guy. Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill was the other guy. And he ended up not even making the roster, or I think he did, but eventually left, whatever, fine. That could be one of these guys. And I haven't seen the number on Quentin Jefferson yet this morning of what he signed for.
Well, if we know anything, it's that Jack Duffin's pretty damn accurate, and he predicted $3 million.
There you go. So, I mean, maybe no guarantees. We'll see. But not all those guys are going to play. Your rotation is fine, but what does that say about Ika? Linebacker's still in need. I'm fine with Devin Bush. And Hunter Renfro's an interesting one, man.
Yeah, he is.
Hunter Renfro's an interesting one for me. I'd take him.
I would.
Again, on the right dollar amount, squeezing some pennies here. I'm all for it. Have we seen what the Browns' updated cap space is?
Good question.
All right, I'm going to go to over the cap. According to this, they have $1.2 million in cap space. And that is, again, before the Nick Chubb restructure. The Chubb restructure could be enough to just get you your draft picks in here.
What,
they don't need much.
Mil?
I think it's somewhere around 6.
6?
Without a first-round pick, I think it's somewhere around 6 that you need to sign your draft picks. You get that with your Chubb deal.
Yes, Matt.
What did I been telling you? What did I say? I told you they weren't going to do Watson.
Well, don't take your victory lap yet.
They might still do it. That's fine. What did I tell you? I said it. It's the smart thing, in my opinion, to do. They haven't done it thus far.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, a big no-no happened last night in Columbus. Running back coach Tony Alford, I guess, is going up north, and he's going to coach for Sharon Moore in Michigan.
Everybody went to Eddie George. Somebody sent a tweet to go, can Mike Vrabel coach running backs? Can we get him back here? Everybody's hired guns. I don't know what to tell you. You don't get the contract you want. This and that. Great. I don't know. Like, Larry Johnson's a big name down there because of some of the DNs that he's able to get, which is kind of falling off a little bit. Ohio State has turned out some, or at least for Ohio State, man, they've had a really good streak of some damn good running backs come through there. And I'm not saying they all panned out in the NFL, but you went basically from what? Zeke to like Mike Weber for a little bit. He was fine. Then you had J.K. Dobbins. Now you're into Travion Henderson. They had Trey Sermon for a little bit. Remember him?
For a while, yeah.
Set that record in the Big Ten tournament or championship game. Like,
Chip Trainum was really good.
I know. They found some backs. Meatball. I mean, they were kind of turning that over. So I don't know what that means. I mean, I thought it was interesting that he waited this long to leave. You know, maybe it was something about recruiting or that. Michigan. Are they going to be good? Who's going to fall off more this year, Alabama or Michigan?
That's
probably
a good question.
Bama.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I think they're both going to take a pretty
the SEC is
big
a lot
step
harder, so probably
at Big Ten, man, you're welcoming in some of these teams. It's not quite the cakewalk it was.
True. That's true.
I would love for Michigan to take a step back. I think they're going to. I mean, just look at the players they lost. Look at the guys that are left and rebuilding all that. Ohio State's prime, man. They are prime. They're going to make the playoff. There's no world that they don't 12 teams. And they are the team that went all in. With college reflecting the pros more and more with free agency, so to speak, who had a better offseason than Ohio State? No one. Yeah. And I got reminded, too, that Travion Henderson came back. Why? I don't know.
So did Denzel
Burke. I don't know why. And then you had Will Howard. Who was the other? Didn't we get that other running back? Judkins. Ohio State killed it. Nobody got better.
Caleb Downs.
Yeah. Everybody. Dude, bring them all in. Ohio State better win the national championship. Can I go right now on Tipco? I'm talking like maybe a $20 bet here. We better start hitting some of these damn parlays, by the way.
Yeah.
Typico. Hey, good to know I'm in a state that allows betting. It always says that when it pops up and checks my
North Carolina just
Congratulations. All right, sports, football, NCAA. Oh, I can't do it yet. Damn it. Remind me. Ohio State, Natty. Done.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, we've been seeing some wide receivers get some gaudy contracts here, and that we haven't even seen yet what Justin Jefferson's going to get, Matt. But the latest one is Calvin Ridley lands a 4-year, $92 million contract with the Titans, and they've had a hell of an offseason for first-year head coach Brian Callahan. Now, Will Levis has a trio to throw to: Treylon Burks, DeAndre Hopkins, and the before-mentioned Calvin Ridley.
It's funny that Calvin Ridley got the money that the Titans didn't want to give A.J. Brown. A little less, but about the same. And then he clapped back at somebody on Twitter, too, about the money. Receivers are getting paid, and you get overpaid when you hit free agency. I liked Calvin Ridley, And is he to the level of A.J. Brown? I think he maybe could be. Now, with that in mind, Justin Jefferson stands there and goes, I stand above the rest, man. I stand above the rest. Do you buy any of this trade bull crap with him? You think that's the right thing to do, though, would be to get rid of him and Hawkinson. Are you buying any of these rumors that they would even be interested in trading away Justin Jefferson from Minnesota? I'm not talking about the Browns. I'm talking about just in general.
Yeah, I don't think they will, but I don't think it's that bad of an idea. Listen, you're in rebuild mode, are you not? Unless you're planning, realistically, maybe you get Justin Fields. That's a possibility, they say still. One of the only real remaining possibilities for Justin Fields, although it looks like he's going to be a backup realistically. I mean, what are you going to do? Pay this guy for the next 5 years and then have nobody to throw to him and you can't pay anybody else? I don't know. It's going to be a tough decision to do because you never want to see a player like that with that amount of talent walk. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you don't have people around him, it's kind of a waste of talent and money.
I get it, and they're in this position where you don't expect them to be successful, though, right?
No.
That's what I'm saying is do the full rebuild. I think that's kind of what you're getting to as well. That it does just now for $30 million
a tight end, $66 million.
I know, but the thing is, if you're Justin Jefferson, you'll stick around through that stuff for $30-some million a year. You ain't turning. You get that deal, you're signing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing that I will say for Kwesi, former Browns, front office person, who's in dude, that's quite the storm to be in. Even at $30 million, is Justin Jefferson still not always going to be tradable? Now, right this moment, you're getting multiple ones for Justin Jefferson. On $30 million a year, maybe you only get one, a late round, but I assume that Justin Jefferson will always be tradable. I say that, and I stare at Deshaun Watson's deal. I see these tweets all the time. Who would have ever thought, even a couple years after the deal, that Watson's untradeable and all this other stuff? It's different when it's a receiver. Because you can always blame the quarterback. You can always say, who's throwing to him? Nick Mullins, or congratulations on Sam Darnold and all your success. Good luck on that. I'd sign him to the deal. Say, let's play it out for this season. They better draft a quarterback, though. They got to draft one. I'd keep Penix in the purple, man. I would do it. I don't know about J.J. McCarthy.
Well, they apparently like J.J. McCarthy.
Everybody likes J.J. McCarthy. Everybody's drinking that Kool-Aid all of a sudden. Yeah. Could you get some odds here a little bit on who goes first, J.J. McCarthy or Drake May? There was a time that's not even a debate, and now I feel like it's starting to get bubbled up
McCarthy,
a little bit.
Which to me is absurd.
Nuts. Isn't that not nuts? That just seems to be crazy to me. All right, before we get to the grid, I got one other thing to throw in because this came out this morning, and it's kind of related back to the Cleveland Browns. This is from Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk this morning, that the Jaguars are going to be renovating their stadium. And they hope soon to get a deal that includes $1 billion from Shad Khan, their owner, and the team, and $1 billion from taxpayers. Negotiations are moving forward towards an agreement which they could possibly get over the next 2 months. And the city council and everybody says, the Jags want to be here, we want them here, and all that kind of stuff. Here's the interesting proposed timeline, though. The Jags would play their home games in the stadium in 2024 and 2025, no problems. But in 2026, they would need to reduce their capacity to 45,000, and in 2027, go somewhere else and then come back to their new stadium. So again, think about this for the Browns. And I want to tweet this out, actually. Would you take this deal? $1 billion from the team, $1 billion from the city. 24 and 25, untouched. 26, you reduce capacity to 45,000. 2027, you got to go play somewhere else.
You want me to tweet this as a question?
I was going to retweet it out myself. Because I want to retweet. Yeah, I'm going to send this out. I'm just going to say this. Browns fans, would you take this deal for a renovated stadium? $1 billion
and that's
from the team.
And that clearly means I'd get to stay on the lakefront.
Beach, you don't get your new stadium, you don't get a dome. $1 billion from the fans.
But it's all new renovated.
Taxpayer.
Can they even renovate it?
Yeah, they can renovate it. 2024 and 2025, untouched. 2026, reduced capacity to 45,000 fans. 2027, play somewhere else. 2028 new renovated stadium. Would you take that as a Browns fan? Is somewhere one word or two? I think it's one. Okay.
I would definitely take that. I would take that.
Browns fans, would you take this deal? Because this is what happened. This is what the Jags moved for. $1 billion from the team, $1 billion from the taxpayers. 24 and 25 untouched. 26, you reduce your capacity to 45,000 fans. 2027, you play somewhere else. And 2028, you get your new renovated stadium. Don't get your dome.
So they're doing the full renovation in that 26 year.
Well, it sounds like, no, I'm thinking they're doing some of it in 26, and that's the reduced capacity. And then the 27, the year that they got to go away, that's probably the big infrastructure type move stuff. The issue remains with the Browns. Where would they go? Yeah. There is no stadium in Northeast Ohio outside of Tom Benson that you could maybe make that work. They're not going down to Columbus, I don't think.
That's what I was going to say. It's like the only option.
Well, I mean, okay. Are you going to be good in 2027?
Who knows?
That's my point. You hope they are. You believe that they're going to be. You wish you could have done that in the 17 season, right? Where at the end of the season, my last 2 home games, there was 10,000 people in there, and half of them were damn Raiders fans or Ravens fans in there. That'd have been the season to do it. Now this team is actually built up and trying to go. I don't want to leave for a year. I don't have to go elsewhere. The issue remains, though. This Brook Park stuff, I think, is viable. I think they're squeezing the boys of the city because they want them to come in. I would tell you this. As a tax-paying citizen of the city of Cleveland, I don't care if my taxes go towards a non-domed stadium. You know what? I'm going to put it this way. I don't give a damn about the dome anymore. I don't care. I'm sick of arguing with people over it. If they want to do it, I don't care. They have got to stay downtown. I don't care what that looks like. I need them to stay downtown. If that's a new spot south of the city or south of the highway, there's some land over there. I don't want Brook Park. I'm on record. I don't want it. I don't think it works. It's a Band-Aid on a broken leg. Renovating the stadium, I don't know. But I just think it's interesting that this is what the Jags want to do because Florio says in Jacksonville, the stakes are clear. If this doesn't happen, they're going to go to London. I've said I don't understand how they could put a team in London permanently.
That's
scheduled. BS. Well, they were always greasing the wheels for that. I've never been to Jacksonville. Would you say Jacksonville is a really strong fan base? Probably not. There's too many teams in Florida. They don't need 3 pro football teams in Florida. They just don't.
Yeah.
So that's where they were already greasing the wheels to go to London to build that fan base there. Now, I come back to how the hell are you going to play games over there? If they go to 18 games, 18-2, they go to 18 regular season games, which is coming, and you add a second bye week, now you got some flexibility. Now you can have your 49ers and your Rams go there and get the bye on the way back. But you got to mess the whole... Think about this. They would have to start the schedule by scheduling the Jags more than anything and then filtering out everybody else. That's not fair if they put a team in London. Oh. Do you really buy that they're all in on putting it? I think they kind of like what it is. They rotate teams there, and you could see all these different players.
I don't like the thought of that.
I don't either. But the difference, I think, between Jacksonville and the Browns is Jacksonville legitimately will leave. The Browns are not going to leave Cleveland. They're not now again Brook Park or Northeast Ohio. That's different. That's another. I don't want them going there. I want them staying downtown. But again, in this proposal, a bill from the team and a bill from the fans. 24 and 5, fine, untouched. Planning phase, get ready. 2026, reduced capacity. 2027, you got to go somewhere else, and you're back in 2028 with a renovated new stadium. People would well, okay, can I just say this? Why not just build a new stadium then? It might shock some people. I'm not a civil engineer. Do you need more than a year to build? SoFi, the other thing, I don't need SoFi. I don't need Jerry's World. I need a standard outdoor stadium. What they're putting up in Buffalo, I guess it probably would take 2 years to build that. I'm snapping my fingers. I just think it's interesting. I tweeted, would you take that as a fan? Phil says in a heartbeat. Buck, Zips, and Daniel both said no. If you would take that offer from it. Ooh, our boost is already up. Love it. I mean, on Twitter. We already had it up a little bit earlier. I think it's interesting. Again, Bill Leach, some time off, renovate, dome. We'll figure it out. All right, Ryan. It is that time. The Immaculate Grid. Here we go. All right. We got back on the right side of things yesterday. Here's how it goes. Got to go across. Got to go up and down. Broncos, Dolphins. Broncos, Vikings. Colts, Panthers. And our final statistical one, please.
1,000 yards rushing in a single season.
Let's get to it. Clock is started. Let's begin. Terrell Davis, would you like it there for the Broncos?
Come up for 1,000 yard rushing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I knew I probably should start with Terrell. There's a million Davises.
Yep. Terrell.
95 to 01?
Yes. Terrell Davis is correct. The Indianapolis Colts. Would you dare go Edgerrin James? Didn't play for any of those teams. He went to Seattle, but I don't think he ever went to those other two teams. The Edge. Final one, Carolina Panthers. Do you want to go Jonathan? 1,000-yard rushing season, right? Yeah. Well, that was a year that both D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart both had 1,000, right? That happened.
I don't know.
I think so.
Should we just go McCaffrey?
Oh, yeah. I guess you go Chris McCaffrey.
He's definitely had 1,000. Yeah, he's had 1,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. Let's play it safe here on the Immaculate Grid. All right, here we go. All right, any teams jumping out to you?
We gotta focus because I just get lost.
I know we get lost in the minutia, if you will.
Oh, well, I got one for Vikings Panthers.
All right, Vikings Panthers. Adam Thielen. You and I are on the same page. All right, let's finish it out. Panthers Dolphins is Robbie Chosen, Robbie Anderson, Chosen Anderson. I don't know, whatever his name is. Unless, does he work for any of the other ones? I don't think so.
Robbie Chosen.
Robbie Chosen. I think that is his new name, but he is definitely there. All right. Let's just go right up to the top now. Let's go Colts. Colts Dolphins. Colts Dolphins. Colts Dolphins. Huh. Jacoby Brissett does not work for either of those teams. Scott Tolzien, anybody? No, I don't think he works. Damn.
Dolphins, Colts.
Dolphins. All right, let's go Colts, Vikings. Colts, Vikings. Where did Darius Leonard go?
I don't know.
Linebacker. They released him. I think he might actually still be available. God, man.
Should we switch to Broncos?
I guess. Man, we're staring down the barrel. It's gonna be a tough one here. All right, Broncos, Dolphins. Bradley Chubb. Yeah, Bradley Chubb. Cousin of Nick Chubb, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah. I think like second cousins or something like that, but they're related. And then Broncos, Vikings. Not Nick Mullins. Gosh darn it. There's another quarterback, though. Not Brett Rippon. No. He just signed. Oh, my God. I know that there's a quarterback. Damn it. It's somebody like Nick Mullins, man. It's right there for me, and I don't know who it is. Son of a gun. Oh, crap. It's not Nick Mullins, right? You're telling me it's not Nick Mullins. I know Mullins is good for the Vikings.
Yeah, I know he's good for the Vikings.
Was he good for the Broncos? I don't know. Jared Allen? Not that one, the other one, the defensive end. He never played for the Broncos, right?
I don't know.
There's got it, like, and I can't go back to like the Purple People Eaters way back in the day of the Vikings, Alan Page and crew. Don't know if that quite works. Randy Moss never played for the Broncos. Brett Favre never did. Peyton Manning doesn't count. We had like Nick Van Ette. I don't think he works. Jeff Hireman, another Ohio State tight end that went to Denver.
All right, which one are we focusing on?
I'm trying to do Denver.
Minnesota?
Minnesota. Kickers? Anything?
I was thinking that, but I don't
Greg
know.
Joseph is a former Brown, but I don't think he went to Denver. TJ Ward went to Denver out of Cleveland, but I don't think he went to Minnesota after that.
Latavius Murray didn't play for the Broncos or Colts.
No. Yeah, they've chewed up through a couple of backs up there that have gone through there. Son of a gun, man.
Am I tripping or did... No, Adrian Peterson never played for the Colts, did he? Because he bounced around a couple
I know.
times.
What? I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah, because he went around, and now again, I'm picturing him in a Colts uniform, but I don't think that works.
Or Frank Gordon played for the Vikings or Dolphins.
No. He was there, but he was Jets, 49ers. Wait a minute. No, he wasn't. Was he in Miami? Does he work for the Colts and Dolphins?
I don't know.
Frank Gore? I think so.
Didn't he play for the Colts?
I know he played for the Colts. I think he played for the Dolphins, too.
It kind of sounds
If
right.
we get down to it, we might need to. We're running out of time. We have 9 minutes to do this, by the way. We're at 6, so we got to rip something here. Damn it.
All right, let's think quarterbacks.
Again, I just... Jake Plummer.
Brock Osweiler.
Osweiler would have worked for the Dolphins and the Broncos. He would have worked there. But again, Chubb wouldn't have worked for anything else, so that doesn't really matter. Oh, man. We might have to be giving this one up, man. We got 2.5 minutes.
All right, Colts,
2.5
Vikings.
minutes.
Colts, Vikings. I can't think of any Vikings players.
Again, I'm jaded now by Adrian Peterson.
Percy Harvin? Did he play for? I know he played for
I don't think he
Minnesota.
played. No, he didn't play for the Colts. No. That's a good point. Like, again, we need to start thinking of that era a little bit. I can't get off the quarterbacks. Like, who was the quarterback before Kirk Cousins was there? I can't even.
Case Keenum?
Yeah, but I don't. Oh, Case Keenum works for the Broncos. That's right.
He does.
That's right.
He
He
played for
works.
the Broncos?
Yeah.
Oh, then
I feel pretty confident in saying that.
Oh, I know he played for the Vikings.
I know he played for the Vikings. Yeah. Give Case Keenum a rip. I think that works. Yes. All right. Okay. Good job. All right. So if we need to, maybe Frank Gore on Miami and the Colts. So we got to think Vikings, Colts.
Jack Doyle. No, he didn't.
No,
play,
like
no.
Bob Sanders, the safety, won Defensive Player of the Year the one year. Did he? I
Stephon
don't think.
Gilmore was never on the Vikings.
No.
Like Xavier Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes.
Did he play for the Colts?
Oh, I'm thinking of Dominic Rhodes, the running back. Wait, did Xavier Rhodes play there?
I know he played for Minnesota.
If we got to let it rip, we might have to. We got 1 minute. 1 minute. Oh, no. Joseph Adai? Joseph Adai might actually work for the Dolphins, too. I don't remember that. Damn it. Vikings, Colts. There's got to be one just staring
Gotta
us
be a kicker
slapping
for
in the
Vikings.
face. I know.
Like Rodrigo Blankenship, where did he go?
Well, he just resigned. He's back in there. I don't, you know.
He's not back in Indy, is he?
Yeah. Oh, they have not that guy. The other, the punter, Rigoberto Sanchez.
Yeah.
That guy. Not the other guy. Dude.
Well, let's rip Frank Gore
We have to. We're almost out of time. We got 10 seconds.
for Dolphins Colts, right?
Yep. All right. 5 seconds, but I will allow our one guess here. What are you going to go with?
Do we try Xavier Rhodes?
I guess, yeah.
But I don't think it's him.
I don't know, man.
Is there really not one we can think of real quick?
There's got to be a corner.
Like T.Y. Hilton never played
Pierre
for the
Desir.
Vikings.
I'd actually rather rip Pierre Desir. I know he played for the Colts. He played in Cleveland. I think he may. I don't know. I really don't.
Pierre Desir?
Yeah. I don't know.
No. Can you look up Xavier Rhodes?
Xavier Rhodes.
Can you go look up?
Yeah. If that was it and I talked you out of it to do...
Oh my God, Matt! Damn it! Damn it!
I blame myself. The first 2 pictures of Xavier Rhodes
Damn it!
are him in Minnesota and him in Indianapolis.
Kelly Holcomb.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It happens. I don't really recognize any of those other names, so it was a tough
It was
pull.
Xavier Rhodes or nothing.
Damn it.
Xavier Rhodes or nothing.
I
Which
had
is
a
another one
feeling.
that was really hard for us.
What do we struggle on? Colts Dolphins we struggle.
Colts Dolphins struggle. Frank Gore we got.
A dude named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay. All right. That guy.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I think we might have brought that up.
Yeah, that's about Philip Lindsay.
Yeah. Oh, Philip Lindsay. I forgot about him, man. I'm sorry. That should have been a win. Should have been a win, but it wasn't. All right, let's catch our break. We come back. We'll get into Time Hop. Today's Pie Day. We'll get to that. Remind everybody of our Tipico boost for tonight. And finals of our bracket. Best Southside bar in Cleveland. Winner advances to the finals. We'll get to all that next. Fontana Show. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, streaming on Twitch. We're everywhere. Stay with us. All right, let's jump into it, and we do a little bit of time hop. The 14th of March, Happy Pie Day, 3.14. How many places in pi do you know?
I know 3.1459.
I know 3.14. That's it.
Okay.
Favorite pie?
Did you see? Probably pumpkin.
Apple,
Probably pumpkin.
pumpkin, and then cherry if it's done right. I don't like a tart cherry pie, but apple and pumpkin are goats. Worst pie. I can't. Is there bad pie out there? I don't know.
Did you see Reflux tweet about Pie Day?
He used all like the Browns numbers. It's just pretty impressive.
3.14159653589793223846264338327950.
How did I feel really stupid for asking this. Which person came up with pie?
I don't know.
Was it Einstein?
No. It was some mathematician, but it wasn't I. It was like I don't know.
The brief history of pi. Who first discovered pi? The number pi is a mathematical constant that is the ratio of a circle's circumference to a diameter equal to 3.14159. But it appears in many formulas across mathematics and physics, and it's an irrational number. Okay, whatever. It was discovered, the first recorded algorithm was 250 BC. Archimedes had it.
Archimedes of Syracuse.
How the hell do you come up with that? How do you do that in 250 BC?
You ever think, you know what is so insane to me, Matt?
What?
You go back to the creation of human, whatever you want to believe,
Whatever
right?
you believe in.
But it was all, it was just trees and the nature. How in the hell do you go from that to Bluetooth?
Think about...
It's nuts.
Think about 100 years ago.
It's crazy.
Which is not that big of a
not
gap.
at all. Not
50
at all.
years ago.
Yeah.
To this and TikTok.
Just wait 100 years now.
Oh, I'm scared. I won't be here for it, thankfully. I don't know where this world is, and there's great parts of it. There's medical advances and all that. Dude, we're in a weird spot. I think about this more than I should. You're right. The human creation, if you believe in God, you believe in whatever, doesn't matter. Were we really meant to be around as much electricity as we were? Are we really meant to be around coal and not like the sunlight, dude? Think about this. I read this somewhere in some article, and take this again for what it's worth. I don't know if it's true or not. That the average human, just to get sufficient amount of vitamin D that our bodies need, we're meant to be in the sunlight for 5 hours a day. The average human gets less than 30 minutes a day of sunlight. We're all vitamin D deficient, all of us. And what do? You just pop a pill. They made it.
Well, dude, think about it. I saw this one thing interesting. It was like 200.
Nuts.
Think about your great or whatever it is, 200 years ago, right?
Yeah.
18. It would be 1824, right? Everybody today sees more faces because of online and everything.
Yeah.
Than your great whatever grandpa was saw their whole life.
They lived in a little circle. They're out there
and
hunting,
one day
fishing.
you saw everything they saw in their whole life.
The Revolutionary War. They didn't know about. They should clean the blades off of, amputating people. They didn't know about germs.
You're just sitting there racing to load your musket.
Right. Back then, kids died of the fever. The fever. They didn't know what it was. It was just the fever.
Just 100 years ago, polio.
Unfortunately, this week, our daughter has been sick. We have about to be 1 year old. She's 8 months old. And we're second-time parents, so we don't get quite as paranoid, but you still want to make sure she's okay. Take her to the doctor, and now, dude, they got tests for this and a test for that and this, that, and they got it's just a virus. She's all right. Think about all the things they eliminated. Polio, dude, they got a vaccine for chickenpox now. Yeah. When we were kids, you just got chickenpox, and once you got it, you never had it again. Now they got a vaccine for it. But just back in the day, kids were, they got the fever. They got the fever.
I mean, I'm not even shitting you, Matt. There's going to be a day, and it probably could be sooner than later, but maybe that's a conspiracy.
Careful that word in today's day and age.
You're going to look in 100 years. Imagine there's 100, 200 years, people be like, oh, you have lung cancer? That's fine. We'll get rid of it in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I
hope we get there.
It's nuts.
We will regrow you a lung. We'll build you. We will out of your own tissue. Which I know, again, that gets extremely political on how they do that and what's going on with that. And Rogers is out there acting a fool and he's crazy. I hope to get there one day. I do.
Imagine that you go to the doctors told me I have like stage 3 cancer, but I'm just on a medicine right now, a pill a day.
I hope so.
It's gone.
I really
it's gone
do.
in a month.
I think about that all the time because the other sad part of it is the rise of cancers.
Yeah.
With the amount of sugar that we're all intaking, with the amount of electricity around our world, we live in a scary time. How we get on this? Oh, pi, when it was first started. Because here's one thing I'll tell you this. So obviously the pyramids are a big thing too.
Yeah.
The fact that they moved those rocks hundreds of miles, you never know how they could do it. The other thing, so I did this when I went to Rome. I think it was Rome or Florence, wherever. I went on my wife and I went on our honeymoon to Italy. And obviously they have a lot of very old structures. And I'm killing myself. I can't remember what the thing is. It's not the Sistine Chapel. It's a big part of this area in Rome. And whatever. You walk in, it's a cathedral.
Oh, the Pantheon?
It's the Pantheon. Thank you. It's a perfect
Yeah.
dome. And they go, we struggled to do that with lasers. And they built this thousands of years ago. The Pantheon, you're correct. Can I give you a piece of advice? You ever go to the Pantheon? Wear sleeves.
You cold?
No. You cannot enter with your shoulders exposed. Don't ask me why. So, one of the hacks, women, we go, and they're just wearing, we're in the middle of summer.
Wait, so I just wear a t-shirt, though?
A t-shirt, you're fine. But there were women that just would have, or even a guy, like a tank top on.
Yeah.
There's people outside selling garbs for $10 a pop to cover your shoulders. You cannot go in the Pantheon with your shoulders exposed.
Do you know why?
I think it's something about the religious part of it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Because it's technically a church or a cathedral or whatever. The same thing. So we did on this tour. We went to the Sistine Chapel. We went to the Vatican and the Pantheon all in a day. Bro, it was near 90 degrees. And I was in a long sleeve button-down shirt and pants. Because that's what you had to wear to get into these places. And if you don't, then you got to pay $10. You want to know the scam they were running? You could buy this thing for, I think, $10 and sell it back to them when you got out for $2. So it was $8 every time that you need to wear, literally just like a piece of cloth over your shoulders for the Pantheon. So if you ever go, remember
Not
that.
to be confused with the Parthenon.
Maybe
That's in Greece.
Okay, good. Pantheon. Whichever one's in Italy, that's the one that I went to. All right, we should probably get to time hop now because here's where we're at. 1 year ago today, the Browns signed Dalvin Tomlin. I forgot Dalvin Tomlinson is still here.
Yeah, because I remember when you said 2 starters, you're like, I forget you said.
I completely.
You said Shelby and
we got
Maurice
Shelby
Hurst.
Harris. We got Mo Hurst. We'll be fine. I forgot
I
Dalvin
didn't
Tomlinson
say-
was still. You should have
when
called
you
me on my
said that,
bullcrap.
I didn't think
Call
about
me on
it.
my craziness. I forgot Dalvin Tomlinson.
But in my head,
here.
I was like, I don't know if Mo's going to start.
Dalvin Tomlinson is still here.
Yeah, he's
your
guaranteed.
D-line room is set. I don't know what to tell you. 2 years ago today, an end of an era in a way, the Browns released Jarvis Landry. And I sent the tweet that I still feel today. I'll be a fan of Jarvis Landry wherever he goes. And he goes down as one of the better
What was
Browns.
this one saying?
Contagious, bro.
No, but he had another. It was a real quick saying. I forget. Everybody would say it.
Oh. Well, there's... oh, my God. Yeah, I know. It was...
It's like something, like... You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I thought it was...
No, I know what you're talking about. Contagious, but it was. something.
Yeah.
Bless him. Bless him.
Bless him. Bless him. That's it. Exactly. Yes. Thank you very much. Because wasn't that when he went and got in the fight?
Bless him.
Bless him.
Bless
Gotta
him.
bless him. Yes. Jarvis Landry. Take Jarvis Landry back. I don't know what it is. Couple of big retirements. This day, 2021, Drew Brees announced his retirement. Is he already out of NBC? Is he already done with that media?
I don't know. I liked him. I liked him.
See how Brady does. I think Brady's going to suck.
I'm just
I think
upset. Like,
he's
get rid of
gonna suck.
Romo and give him Greg
I know.
Olsen.
You're a big anti-Romo guy.
Keep Greg Olsen.
I like Greg Olsen. I do.
He's going to get booked.
He's going to get booted for Brady. That's fine, But I kind of agree with I don't get Kevin Burkhardt doesn't do it for me. Because you got to have that dynamic. You've got to have a good play-by-play person with the right color analyst.
Yep.
And I know, again, I love Kirk Herbstreit. Get him a good play-by-play guy. Get Kirk Herbstreit and Mike Tirico. And I love Tirico and Collinsworth. Burkhardt and Olsen are fine. The catcher end will always be Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. And the fact that they're recording for the video game is great. I'm excited for that. You got to have that good play-by-play person to go with it. You're right. They're wasting Nance and Herbie.
I told you.
Nance and Herbie.
That's the GOAT. That would be the GOAT.
That would be the GOAT combo. Well, Nance is because obviously he's just started pulling it.
Caller.
Kirk's the best. He's really good. And I know obviously Nance isn't doing the final, or is he doing the Final Four? I saw the broadcast team. I know Ian Eagle's all over it. I think he might be taking a step back. He's getting a little older. If I was him, I'd keep taking steps back until all I do is the Masters. That's it. Hello, friends. Hi, Jim. Hi.
Bill Rafferty, Grant Hill, and Tracy Wolfson, along with Ian Eagle.
Ian Eagle. Yeah, that's what I figured. So that, taking that step back there a little bit. But, yeah, you got to get the right combo. I think Brady's going to suck. I don't wish that. I don't really care, but I just don't think he's going to be very good.
I think he'll be good.
I don't know. This day, 2018, Joe Thomas officially announced his retirement. First ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best Browns of all time, and I know he certainly is enjoying retirement. This day, 2017, there was a report the Browns could make a run at trading for Kirk Cousins. Where might be we today without him? You wouldn't have needed to draft Baker. Now, it might have cost you your other first round. Because, again, this was going into 2017. So imagine you take Myles Garrett. You don't take Jabril Peppers.
Fine.
You don't take David Njoku. But the trades that you make for 14 with Watson, you maybe would have had to give that up for Cousins. No, because the Nick Chubb trade was Brock Osweiler, right? Yeah, so that wouldn't have been impacted. But maybe you wouldn't have had Osweiler. You may not have had Nick Chubb.
Who knows?
Butterfly, I'm just saying, but maybe Cousins would have been the answer. This day, 2014, Dane Brugler nails it. Teams that pass on Teddy Bridgewater and take Johnny Manziel will regret that decision. Good call, Dane. You're very right on with that. This day, 2012, the Browns signed Frosty Rucker and Eric Steinbach to deals. Eric Steinbach was a Bengals legend. Had some good years here with the Browns. This is a big one in the city of Cleveland. Because this day, 1986, one of the Cinderella teams of our town, the Cleveland State Vikings, Ryan. This day, 1986, as a 14 seed, beat number 3, Bobby Knight and the Indiana Hoosiers, 83-79. Then, in the second round, not today, because they beat Indiana this day, 86. But then in the second round, Ryan, they beat St. Joseph's to become the first 14 seed in history to make the Sweet 16. They lost in the final seconds to Navy, 71-70. They would have been the first team from a 14 seed to make it to the Elite Eight.
Shout out
One of
Vikings.
the first true Cinderellas. Cleveland State Vikings started this day, 86. This day, 1972, the Cincinnati Royals announced that they were leaving for Kansas City as an NBA team. Your trivia question of the day. Which team are they now? So they left Cincinnati. They went to Kansas City. Who are they now?
And so they were the Cincinnati
Royals. Then they went to the Kansas City. I think they stayed that way. That is obviously not their name now. But which team are they today?
The Bucks?
No.
Oh, no. I don't know.
So they went the Cincinnati Royals to the Kansas City. I can't give you the name because then they changed the name to what the name is now. This team left Kansas City in 1985. They are in the place that they've been since then, and the name that they changed to in Kansas City is the name that they have today.
This is an NFL team, you said.
No, NBA.
Oh, no.
There was an Yeah.
5.
They kept going west. They went from Cincy to Kansas City, even further west.
Like way west?
Yeah, the way west.
Well, I was going to say the Kings.
That is correct.
Because you said Royals. I was like, Royals and Kings, that makes sense. I didn't think they went that west, though.
Yeah,
so
that's it. That is the Sacramento Kings, where it is today. It all started when they left in Cincinnati. This day, 1967, the NFL draft. Bubba Smith goes number 1 overall. Not only a great NFL player, but also Hightower from Police Academy. There were 10 Hall of Famers in this draft in 67, including Bob Greasy, and the Browns took Bob Matheson in the first round at 18 overall. Very happy birthday goes out to Wisconsin running back Ron Dane, Steph Curry, Anthony Bennett, quite the opposites on that polar there. Another GOAT, Simone Biles, celebrating a birthday today. Albert Einstein, Michael Caine, Quincy Jones, and Billy Crystal, all celebrating birthdays. That's a pretty solid damn day of birthdays right there. No movies or TV shows for you today. Sorry about that. Well, we go from not booing to cheering for our typical bracket, or typical boost bracket, whatever you got. Typical, yeah, let's go. College basketball today. I got to tell you, I just looked at Padone and I said, I'd make it up today. Because they said we were going to go NHL tonight, but we'll go college. So it's up. Bet on it. Tipico. Use that code Fontana100 when you get signed up, and you'll be able to bet along with our boost for college basketball season, which is upon us. Now we get to the bracket of the week. Best Southside bar in Cleveland. Here it is. Our winners for the finals: Brew Garden, Mulligan's, Oriole Cafe. Oh, and Mike's Bar and Grill. Two Berea ones.
Yeah.
Two Berea ones there. So we'll send out the finals at Matt Fontana's show. And the winner of that will head to the grand finals. Scorchers from the east side. This will be south side. Do you want to do downtown or west side next week? Probably downtown.
Oh, you think?
Well,
that works.
I guess let's go circle. We'll do west side, and then we'll do downtown in the final week. So we'll do west side next week. Reflux sent out the Cavs version of this. 3.14. Craig Elo. Is that Ira Newell? It is. Into Channing Frye, Kyrie, LeBron. Channing Frye is in this. Wally Zerbiak is in this. Sean Kemp is in this. So we now did it with the Cavs. That's pretty well done on his part. I'm sure a lot of work to get that, and we'll see how it goes. All right. This Penguin story is getting picked up now about how they had their truck of bobbleheads stolen in cargo theft. We talked about it earlier today. That is an absolutely crazy thing that happened, but we'll see.
Will you be tuning into
Jerry Jeudy? Yeah, he's at 1 o'clock today, then Jordan Hicks via Zoom. They already had him out. He's already kind of, said all the things. I followed Amari Cooper, Alabama tie there. I think he's going to fit really well into this system. I do. The thing is, we got to continue to remind ourselves, this is going to be a new system. This is going to be something new with Ken Dorsey coming to town. And I do think, Jerry Jeudy, I'm never going to sit here and say he's a top 10 receiver. I know that. But I like the depth. I like that move. That was a great move for the Browns. I'm a fan of it. They'll ask him a lot of the questions. What do you think you can do in this offense? Here's the thing. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. They got this offseason to get it figured out. He's going to say that he's excited to play alongside Deshaun Watson, probably the best quarterback Jerry Jeudy has had in his career. A down Russ Wilson, and before that, who? Right? Who'd they have? Drew Lock? So maybe that's what's going to unlock his potential. My bad. Sorry. The 4 listeners and viewers of this show just left. They'll never come back. Bye. See you later. No, he's had some bad quarterback play. I think Jerry Jeudy, I don't know, be interested to hear what he has to say, this afternoon. Then Jordan Hicks. I think the Browns are done, man. I don't see much else. We'll keep an eye out for maybe these restructures, but I think it's been a good offseason so far for the Cleveland Browns.
Trivia real quick?
Yeah,
I saw this on SportsCenter
Sure,
today.
please, yes.
I
did not see it.
Since 2018, which 3 quarterbacks have thrown for the most touchdowns?
Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers.
Nope.
Wow, okay. I guess the 1 year being out would kind of take that away. Is it Kirko? It's got to be.
Yeah.
Because obviously that would be the point of the trivia if he's doing it. Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow missed a year, so it's not him. It's not Justin Herbert. Dak Prescott.
Good guess. Oh, no, he missed a year too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That is a damn good question. AFC or NFC quarterback? I'm assuming he's still playing.
Yeah, he's an AFC quarterback.
It's not Lamar. He's an AFC quarterback currently. It's not Russ.
Yep.
Wow.
I was going I was thinking, well, either way, the Broncos were still in the
but I mean, think about that a lot. And I know Cousins had his Achilles last year, but think about that. Those are just basically the guys that have been healthy and played all those years since 2018.
Yeah.
Which, dude, think about that for a second. The list of starting quarterbacks that have not been injured over the last 5 years.
Wow. And, oh, my God.
What?
The gap between Mahomes and then the rest. Mahomes, 219. Wilson, second with 173.
Wow.
That's 40.
I know. He's insane, man.
Rodgers was 5.
Yeah. I mean, think about the last 5 years of a starting franchise quarterback that has not missed a chunk of the season. Lamar Jackson, missed time. Joe Burrow, missed time. Justin Herbert, missed time. Kirk Cousins, now missed time. Dak Prescott missed a season.
That's another just
Trevor Lawrence injuries all aplenty.
another GOAT thing for Mahomes.
And he's got a lot of them. And now he restructured his deal too, freeing up money. I'm going to continue on my victory lap until there's nothing left. That I just don't think they're going to restructure the Watson deal, and that's going to open up the back door to get out of this thing.
Very possible.
If needed. All right, great stuff today. Appreciate all the support. Again, follow us at Matt Fontana Show across all the platforms. Coming up later today, our new Big Play Cincy show. Big Play Cincy show. Bangalorean and Drew Garrison. And then tonight, shoot it, Booby, shoot it. Booby's World tonight. I'd love to get him and Rafa's thoughts coming up about the Cavs. So fresh edition of Booby's World tonight, and we'll be back 9 a.m. tomorrow to recap everything with that. Same time, same channel, Fontana Show. Appreciate your support as always. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. Take it easy.